Coach Peterson here. If you have a question, please utilize the raise hand function, and we will get we will get started. John.
Sweet. Coach, just, overall, I know Zay popped up on the injury report yesterday. How are you feeling about his chances on Sunday? And is that something that just kind of popped up during practice?
Yeah, it just occurred. We get some things like this that come up during the week, and we just want to make sure that he's 100%. So we shut him down yesterday, and we'll get through today's practice. We'll have a better indication, with him after today, but we'll make a decision after that.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Make sure to use raised hand. Does anybody have any? Demetrius, and then we'll go to Ashwin.
Hey, Doug. I hope you're doing well. Just going into this week, how have you felt your team has responded? Sort of just going up against the next opponent, the Eagles. I know that it's going to be a difficult matchup.
Yeah, I think the guys have responded well to this week. We had a little change in the schedule yesterday because of the weather, and I want to make sure, number one, that players and family safety comes first, and make sure that they were protected from the storm. And other than that, the guys have been engaged. They've been focused. Trying to just work off the momentum, these last couple of weeks, and get ready for another football game. It's been a good week that way, and I think the guys are ready to go.
Is this a sort of I know you don't like to use the term benchmark or anything like that, but just is this a sort of another big test for your team?
Well, I believe so, because it's not only our next opponent, but it's a good opponent. They're playing. I mean, they're undefeated. They're playing extremely well, in all three phases, and we're going to have to be disciplined in our jobs and our assignments, and it'll really see where we're at as a football team, and how we respond after having a little bit of success these past couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Ashwin Sullivan, then John Shipley.
Hey, Coach, how do you prepare your team for a hostile game environment? Do you pump crowd noise in practice? Do you change anything knowing you're going into this environment, or does it stay the same every week?
No, road games are different, whether you're playing in a dome or an outdoor stadium. I just know firsthand this place can get extremely loud. We expect it to be loud this weekend. So, yeah, we'll use crowd noise. We used it yesterday in practice. We'll use it again today, and it's just part of it. It's a great environment up there. It's a great for football. It's a football town, and our guys handled the work of or the week of practice extremely well. They handled the noise. We were inside yesterday because of the weather, and they handled the crowd noise well yesterday. So it just comes down to communication. Obviously starts with me, getting the plays into Trevor, and then Trevor communicating that with the huddle. But and the same on defense, right? It's usually not as loud on defense when you're on the road, but there's still got to be great communication amongst the players, and felt like yesterday was a good day for that.
All right, we'll go to John Shipley, then we'll go to Brent Martineau.
Excuse me if you hear a dog in the background. It's going to town on a bone. And Doug, we talked last week a lot about it being kind of a big test for Juwan and Cam against those pass rushers. What about kind of flipping it this week? What kind of test is it for Josh Allen and Trayvon against, Lane and Jordan?
Well, listen, I got a lot of respect for Lane and Jordan both, and Lane Johnson's a heck of a football player and a veteran guy. He's obviously, in my opinion, he's Pro Bowl caliber, right tackle in this league. And Josh and Trayvon both they got their work cut out for them, and they've got to really stay within themselves and be disciplined, and try not to do too much, but at the same time maybe show something that he hasn't seen or studied this week on tape. And then with Jordan, just he's a big guy that has really turned into a great tackle in this league, and somebody that the Eagles have shown confidence in by extending him. And again, just two really good tackles that our two guys that I know they'll be prepared, but they have to study the tape and understand the one-on-one matchups. And that's what this game comes down to, is your one-on-ones and trying to win those. And I know both of our guys have their hands full this weekend.
Thanks, Doug. And then just one more from me. If you need him this week, depending on Zay, Tim Jones, I mean, has he kind of carried over in practice during the season and what you guys saw from him during training camp in the preseason?
Well, it's the reason we kept him on a 53. He deserved a spot. He's a very capable backup that is going to have to play. And if Zay can't go, then he's the next man up. And that's been our mentality. And he also plays a couple of special teams units as well. And, he's done a nice job of preparing himself and staying within himself and getting himself, in a position to help us on offense.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, we'll go to Brent Martineau, then John Osher.
Hey, Doug, this is probably a quick one and then a follow-up. You guys end up okay with the storm? I mean, everybody, all the players, all the families, pretty good?
Yeah, everybody was good. I know there was some power outages, I think Thursday, either Wednesday night, Thursday evening, with some of the guys, but I think everything's been restored now. It was one of the things I wanted to make sure by sort of modifying the schedule, getting everybody home yesterday, because supposedly that was going to be the brunt of the storm and some of the flooding and different things that happened around our city here. Just wanted to make sure they were safe. Everybody was, and good to see and good to hear.
And secondly, I don't know if you saw last night, but it's a scary scene, obviously, with Tua in that game. You've been around this thing for a long time. How far have we come in the NFL in that regard and player safety? And how much do you attribute some of these things that it's just a violent game and sometimes things are going to happen?
Yeah, first of all, just want to, my thoughts and prayers, obviously, with Tua and his family at this time. It was what I saw on television last night was obviously a violent, head injury, severe to the ground. And, listen, those things are going to happen in this league, and it's no fault of anybody's, but, we got to keep player safety first, number one. I know the league is doing an outstanding job with, you look at the Guardian caps that we wore in training camp this year, and they're doing everything it can with technology and helmets and things of that nature. But these incidences are gonna keep popping up. It's inevitable. With our game and the speed of the game and the violent nature of our game, and we try to minimize them, and we try to protect our players the best we can. But sometimes it's in the course of the heat of the battle, they happen, and it's unfortunate. And again, our thoughts, my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family and of course the Dolphins at this time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we'll finish up with John Osher.
Hey, Doug. I'm wondering, this team had lost so much before you got here and then the two big wins. In terms of confidence, are you liking what you're seeing, and how important is it for a team to sort of have that walk, if you will?
I've been really pleased, with where the guys are, where they've come from, how they've, come together as a team, the way they practice, all those things that, as we've talked about, in these press conferences and stuff. And, it's just right now, it's just a matter of keeping that going, kind of riding the wave and keeping the momentum. We know that every season can't be a perfect season. There's going to be bumps in the road, but it's how we overcome them, wins or losses, and sometimes the price of success can cover up a lot of things, but the second you lose a game, it magnifies everything. So, there's a fine balance there, and it's my job as the head coach and leader to really point both out, right? The wins and the losses, and make sure that we stay on task. And, but I've been really pleased with where the team is and the leadership of the team, and just want to continue that, in a positive direction.
Thank you, Doug.
You bet.
All right, thanks, Coach. You're all set. We should have Coach Caldwell here shortly. Local media here. So we'll get started with questions. We'll start with Demetrius, and then we'll go to John.
Hey, Coach. First of all, just hope you're doing well with the hurricane and everything. But, everyone has talked about the different parts of your defense. I wanted to ask you about Devon Hamilton. How have you felt he's played? It seems like he's sort of one of those unheralded players who gets in and does his job well.
Oh, thanks for asking about our health. Yeah, this hurricane, it was something, but I think everybody made it through. Had a little power go out, a couple of homes, but everybody's good and ready to go. But Big Ham, yeah, he's one of the pieces that doesn't get a lot of mention that is just so important to us. He pushes and controls the middle, and his value inside is just really unique. He's able to disrupt a lot of things and keep players free, actually.
And how important is he and obviously all the rest of the defense just going to be this week against a guy like Miles Sanders who can do so much inside?
Well, facing this running attack, they have running backs that really are slashers that can hit creases, and we just have to make sure we do our best at squeezing those creases off, because they're guys that if you give them 6 inches of daylight, they're able to get through.
All right, thank you.
I will go to John, then we'll go to Brent Martineau.
Hey, Coach. Hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for taking the time. I mean, overall, I know you faced Eagles and Jalen Hurts last year in the playoffs. How much do you go back to that game when you're looking kind of ways to maybe limit that?
Well, you go back and you just, as coaches, you go back and you want as much information as you can. You go back and you watch games from last year, teams that have similar defenses or similar structures that we have, and you just go back and try to see any similarities to what they're doing this year and just have the guys aware that they could do this, could do that. So it's really just being able to prepare for the unknown, because so much is unknown. Weekly they change plays and they change different ways they attack defenses. So we just have to make sure we have our guys prepared as best we can.
Thanks, Coach. And then just last one for me. You've talked about it a little bit before, but, Trayvon and kind of his impact, is it something that kind of goes beyond the stat sheet? It's maybe hard to quantify just how much he can kind of help create for others.
It really is. He's just like Big Ham in the middle. What they do in the run game, being able to squeeze blocks and being able to affect the run game by just their physicalness, it really helps the whole defense, whether it's cornerbacks having a gap where the running back has to bubble before they have to make the tackle. It's just different things like that you really can't put on a stat sheet, but it shows up for us in a big way.
Was that third down stop you made last week on the toss a good example?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the plays where he's getting cracked and he has the physicalness to be able to recreate the line of scrimmage. And on the 3rd and 1, that's what you have to do. And he did it, and he was able to have the reinforcements come back and help us out.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Brent Martineau, then Mark Long.
Coach, I know we're 3 weeks into this thing and you put a lot of work into it in the offseason, but some of the early success at all surprising to get everybody on the same page? There's a lot going on your defense, a lot of moving parts, a lot of new players, young players. Have you just been at all surprised at how quickly it's come together in live game action?
Not really. We kind of expected it. The coaching staff, they've done a great job of teaching and letting the players understand what we're going to be about. And the players, they've done a great job of just accepting it and being eager to learn it. And once you get that, you get the players on the same page, coaches on the same page, you go out there and let their talent take over. And we have some players here that are playing at a good level, and we just got to keep it going.
Not to steal your secrets, because I know you won't share them, but you have players like Trayvon and Devin who have skill sets that can allow them to do a lot of different. Is there another evolution still to this defense that could potentially come throughout the year?
It's just we go back, we game plan, we see what we have, and we see what we need to take away, and we put our guys in position to be able to go out there and perform the best they can, and that's a recipe for us. It could change week to week. We could do it with other people, but we're just out there, whatever we need to do to get our guys in a best position to make a play, we'll try to do that.
And one more quick one for you. You guys said stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. From a coaching standpoint, when you preach that, because listen, we've had people preach that before and it hasn't always showed up in the stat sheet. You guys right now are one of the best in the league at it. What does that mean to you?
I think it's just all on the players. The players understand our philosophy here about stopping the run, trying to make teams one-dimensional, and they bought into it and they take pride in it. So they go out there week to week and find out what they need to do, or what we need to do to get the victory. And stopping and run is up there, and they focus in on it and they try to go out there and accomplish it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Mark Long.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. Curious. You said we kind of expected this kind of early success. At what point did you, this year after taking this job, realize that this thing had the pieces to really be special?
Well, throughout the whole offseason and then through the draft, finding out what we got, I think the scouting department did a great job of getting some of the pieces that we thought we needed, and we put the team together. And it's just the way Coach Pederson has kind of led the way as far as changing the culture and people believing. We go out there and we put the work in, and guys are confident in what they're doing, and they go out there and they perform. So it's really not a surprise. It's just that you go out there, you build confidence on a practice field, and then you go out there and then you just let it take away on game day.
Thank you.
All right, we'll finish up with Ashlyn Sullivan.
Hey, Coach. Devin Lloyd, Defensive Rookie of the Month. And I know Coach Pederson was always saying, a first-round draft pick, he's going to play, he's going to make an impact. But did you think he would make as much of an immediate impact as he has had?
Devin so far is doing a great job for us. He's out there. He had a little bit of a slow start with the injury in training camp, but after that, he's been real attentive. He's going out there and he's working at his craft. That's the thing about it. Him, Trayvon, and everyone that's really getting us off to this success early, it's the hard work they've put in through training camp and offseason, being able to just continue to build. And it's unique because he is a rookie, but he goes about the game and there's a bunch of leadership in his room. So he goes about the game as a veteran, and he's just going to continue to get better for us.
All right, I see no more hands raised. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time. And everybody enjoy the weekend, and let's get ready for Sunday.
All right, thank you.